Have you ever thought an old coin in your drawer could be worth a fortune? In today's video, we're looking at 4 super rare UK coins that could make you rich. They might look like regular coins, but some are worth thousands. Let's find out what makes them so valuable. Let's start with one of the most talked about coins in the UK, the 1969 50 Newpence coin. This coin was part of a big change in the UK's money system called decimalisation. Before decimalisation, the British currency used pounds, shillings, and pence. It was quite confusing for many people. So in 1971, the UK switched to the decimal system, where everything was based on 100 pennies in a pound. But the 50 Newpence coin was actually introduced a little earlier, in 1969, to help people get used to the new system. The coin is large and 7-sided, and it was the very first of its kind. On one side, it shows a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. On the other side is the famous Britannia design, created by artist Christopher Ironside. Britannia is a traditional symbol of the UK. She's shown sitting down, wearing a helmet, holding a trident, and with a shield by her side that has the Union flag on it. This powerful image stood for strength and national pride. Now, while the regular 1969 50p coins aren't very rare because over 180 million were made, there are some versions that collectors would pay big money for. We're talking about coins with errors, unusual details, or even coins that were not meant for public release. One reason these rare coins are so valuable is because of minting errors. A minting error happens when something goes wrong during the coin-making process. For example, the coin might be struck off-center, have missing details, or show a mistake in the lettering or design. These types of errors are very rare, and the fewer that exist, the more valuable they become. Some of these error coins from 1969 have sold for thousands of dollars. Another type of rare 50p coin from this year might come from proof sets or specimen strikes, coins that were specially made with extra care for collectors or display. These coins have a very shiny, high-quality finish and were not meant to be used in shops. If you happen to find one of these in perfect condition, it could be worth a lot of money today. There are also stories of test versions and rare trial pieces made before the coin was officially released. These are almost never found in public, but a few have made it into private collections, and their value can be sky-high. One such version of the 1969 50 Newpence coin has reportedly been valued at up to $35,000. Collectors are always on the hunt for coins that are different, unusual, or have a story behind them. That's why this coin is so exciting. Even though it looks like a normal 50p, some rare versions hold incredible value. If you've got any old 50p coins lying around from the late 60s or early 70s, take a close look. You might spot something special. It's amazing how a small mistake in the mint can turn a regular coin into a collector's dream. Now let's take a closer look at another very special coin, the 1969 10 Newpence coin. Like the 50p we just talked about, this coin was also part of the UK's move to the decimal system. This big change meant people had to get used to new coins, and the 10 Newpence coin was one of the first to help with that transition. The 10 Newpence coin was first issued in 1968, just before decimalisation became official in 1971. But the 1969 version is the one that's caught the attention of coin collectors across the world. It's part of the early batch, and although millions were made, a few rare versions and error coins have been found that could be worth a huge amount of money, up to $100,000 in some cases. Let's start with the design. The front side of the coin, like most British coins from that time, shows a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right. This portrait was designed by Arnold Machin, and it was used on British coins for many years. The back side of the coin features a powerful image of a crowned lion, which is a symbol of England. The design was also created by Christopher Ironside, the same artist who did the Britannia on the 50p coin. The 10 Newpence coin was quite large compared to today's 10p coins. It was made of a copper-nickel metal mix, which gave it a shiny silver color. The edge of the coin is milled, meaning it has tiny ridges going all the way around. So, what makes the 1969 10p coin so valuable? Just like with the 50p, it all comes down to rarity and errors. Some 1969 10p coins were struck with minting mistakes. Maybe the image didn't come out clearly, or the lettering was off, or the coin wasn't struck properly. These kinds of errors are very rare, and collectors love them because they are so unusual. There are also stories of proof coins and trial pieces from 1969 that were never meant to go into circulation. These coins were made in small numbers to test the design or show to government officials before releasing the full batch to the public. If someone managed to get hold of one of these trial coins, it could be worth a fortune today. Another thing that adds to the value is the condition of the coin. If it's still shiny, with no scratches or marks, and all the details are clear, it could sell for a much higher price. A coin in uncirculated condition, meaning it was never used in shops, is very valuable to collectors. Now, it's important to remember that not all 1969 10p coins are worth this much. Most of them are still only worth face value. But if you find one with clear errors, or from a proof set, or in perfect condition, it could be extremely valuable, even up to $100,000 depending on the buyer. So, don't throw away your old coins just yet. That 10 Newpence coin sitting in a drawer might be hiding a small fortune. Always check for unique features, errors, or anything that looks unusual. You never know, you could be holding a very rare piece of British history. Now let's talk about a coin that may look small, but could be worth a lot, the 1979 5 Newpence coin. This coin was part of the UK's decimal currency system and was first introduced back in 1968. It replaced the old shilling coin, but both coins were actually the same size, so people could still use their shillings as 5p coins during the early years of decimalization. By 1979, the 5 Newpence coin had been around for over a decade. The design on the front of the coin features the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. On the back of the coin, you'll see a crowned Scottish thistle, which is the national flower of Scotland. This beautiful design was created by Christopher Ironside, who designed many of the coins during the decimal change. The 1979 5p coin was made of a copper-nickel alloy, which is a mix of copper and nickel. This gave the coin its shiny silver look. The coin is small, round, and has a milled edge. Those small ridges around the outside that help protect the coin from wear and also make it harder to fake. Now here's where things get exciting. Even though millions of these coins were made in 1979, there are some very rare versions that are now worth up to $50,000. That's a huge amount of money for such a small coin. So why would a 5p coin be worth so much? It all comes down to errors, special editions, and condition. Let's start with error coins. Sometimes, a mistake happens during the minting process. For example, the coin might be struck off-center, meaning the design isn't exactly where it should be. Other times, a coin might be struck using the wrong die, have missing details, or even show a doubled image. These kinds of mistakes are very rare, and collectors love them because they make the coin unique. Another possibility is that a few proof or specimen coins were made in 1979. These coins are specially produced for collectors and have a shiny, polished finish. They're not meant to be used in everyday life, so finding one in circulation would be very unusual, and very valuable. The condition of the coin also makes a big difference. A coin that has been used in shops and handled by many people will have scratches, wear, and faded details. But a coin that has never been used, what collectors call uncirculated, will be in perfect shape. These coins can sell for thousands of dollars, especially if they have an error or were part of a rare set. So if you come across a 1979 5 Newpence coin, take a good look at it. Check for anything unusual. Is the design off-center? Is the lettering strange? Does it look different from other 5p coins? If so, it might be something really special. It's amazing to think that such a small coin could be worth $50,000, but that's the magic of coin collecting. You never know what hidden treasures might be hiding in your pocket change. Now let's move on to a coin that has become one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in UK collecting history, the 1977 2 Newpence coin. At first glance, it might look like just another copper coin. But don't be fooled, one rare version of this coin has been valued as high as $200,000. The 2 Newpence coin was first introduced in 1971, during the UK's decimalization. It replaced the old 2D coin, and it was part of the new set of coins that made the currency system easier to understand, 100 pennies in £1. The coin is made of bronze, giving it a reddish-brown color. It's round, lightweight, and has a milled edge. On the front, it shows a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. On the reverse side, it features the Prince of Wales feathers, a badge with 3 feathers, a coronet, a small crown, and the words Ich diene, which means I serve in German. Now, most 1977 2p coins are common and not worth more than face value. But here's where the story gets interesting. In 1983, the Royal Mint changed the wording on the back of the 2p coin from Newpence to simply 2pence. This was because by that time, the new system wasn't new anymore, so the wording was updated. However, by mistake, a few coins dated 1983 were minted with the old wording, Newpence, instead of 2pence. These are known as error coins, and they are extremely rare. Only a small number were ever made, and even fewer are known to still exist. While the mistake happened in 1983, the reason we're talking about the 1977 version is because collectors are always on the lookout for similar errors from earlier years. There have been rumors and reports of rare 1977 2p coins with unusual features, such as design misprints, double strikes, or even incorrect metals being used. These types of minting errors can make a coin incredibly valuable, especially if it's in good condition and has never been used in everyday life. Some collectors have claimed that rare 1977 Newpence coins have sold privately for up to $200,000, depending on the error and condition. That's a life-changing amount of money for a coin most people would overlook. What adds to the mystery is that many of these rare coins are not listed in official records. They might have been test strikes or coins that were accidentally released to the public. This makes them even more desirable because their rarity can't be easily measured, and that increases demand. If you have any 1977 2p coins in your collection, or in an old jar at home, take a close look. Check the lettering, the edges, the design, anything that looks out of the ordinary. If the coin has a minting mistake, or if it just looks different from the others, it might be worth getting checked by a coin expert.